What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, this video is going to be a little different just because I'm not going to be vlogging. I'm just going to do like a story, and that story is me being undocumented. I've thought about doing this video, but I always told myself not to do it because I don't want you guys to feel bad for me. So this is not a video for you guys to feel bad for me, because that's not what I want to do here. I just want to be more open to you guys, since you guys do support me a lot. But yeah, so don't feel bad for me. I guess what I'm trying to say is that my situation has never stopped me from doing the things that I want to do in life. Hopefully you guys can take something from this. Let's get right to the video. My name is Vazquez. Born in 1996, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I'm 22 years old and I'm an undocumented alien. My mom had me when she was 37. I'm the youngest of 8 kids, 4 brothers and 3 sisters. And I lived in Mexico until I was about 8 or 9 years old, around there. And you know, I grew up not really having like much, you know what I mean? But I was happy. You know, in Mexico is like a whole different lifestyle than it is here. But at the time, 2 of my brothers already came to the US illegally, you know? And they would always like send money back and things like that. So life was not that bad in Mexico. And I never like thought that they would like want me to come to the US. Fast forward, when I was about 9 years old, 8 years old, my brother came from the US to Mexico. And after spending like a few months there, he decided to like come back. And that's when my mom told me that they were gonna bring me to the US to give me a better life. And at the time I didn't know what to say. I was a kid, you know. I was gonna like, okay, let's go, whatever, you know. I was just like agreeing with whatever my mom said. So the time comes and they're all looking for me, right? And when I was a kid, I really enjoyed like horses and cows and doing all that stuff like the Mexicans do, you know. So they were looking for me and they couldn't find me. And they like, my brother eventually like found out where I was at, and I was with my neighbors. They were changing their cattle to like a different like place, you know. So I was helping them with that. And I remember they pulled up with a truck and they're like, "Come on, man, we gotta go." And I was like, "All right." And then it's crazy because there was so much going on that I didn't know how to react. I didn't know like what to think. I was just like, alright, we're gonna go to the US, cool. And at the time I thought about like how I was gonna leave my friends and things like that, you know. Like, I don't know, it was just crazy. Like, I had so much going on that I didn't know how to react. I didn't have any emotions. I just kind of did it because my mom told me to do it. So we get to the bus station, we get on the bus, and we have minimal stuff with us. Like, so we all have like a luggage to ourselves, you know. And man, it was crazy because I didn't know it was gonna take that long. So we took the bus from the little town that I lived in. So I was born in Puerto Vallarta, but I was raised in this little town called Jose Maria Morelos. So we took the bus from Jose Maria Morelos to Mexicali. We were in the bus for 3 days and 2 nights. Can you imagine being in there for 3 days and 2 nights? It was pretty rough. Which is where some of my brother's homies lived. So we stayed there for about like a month and a half. But before anything, shout out to Mexicali's hot dogs. They're probably the best hot dogs I ever tried in my life. But anyways, so we stayed there for about like a month and a half, until my mom and my brother and his friends found like coyotes. Not an actual animal, that's just what they call the people that help you cross the border. And then the time finally came for us to cross the border, you know. But before that, they like split us. My mom and my brother went somewhere, and then my niece actually came with us too. She was like a 1-year-old, and it's crazy because like they had to separate us, you know. My little niece went somewhere, I went somewhere, and then my mom went somewhere else. And from what I remember was I came to this house with this guy, random guy, Coyote, and I stayed with him for like 3-4 weeks. Keep in mind, this fool has like the nicest house. He has like motorcycles, cars, and he had like 3 kids. It was two sons and 1 daughter. And the whole time I'm there, he has me like learn like this identity which is, I guess, one of his kids that I matched the descriptions of how his son looks. So I stayed there for about a month, like I said, and I had to study the whole thing. I didn't have any contact with my family around this time, so it was hard. Like as a 9-year-old kid, like you don't really know what the heck is going on. So to think back and be like, damn, I really went through that stuff. It's kind of crazy to me, But yeah, this will have me learn like a whole new name, whole new last name, my age, my everything. I had to pretend that his kids were my brothers and sisters. The thing that was like the most crazy to me was that like his kids were like trained to say that I was their brother if in case we got caught, And there was a little girl. The little girl, like, it was crazy because she was like 4 or 3, and she already knew like what she had to do. It was insane, yo. The time comes and we are like headed to the border to cross, and we get there and we're like waiting in line, and I'm seeing the people, and I'm honestly getting like hella scared because I didn't know what could happen, I was just like, damn, I'm really doing this and he's really gonna make me do it, And I don't get like emotional and stuff like that because I'm not really like an emotional person, but this is like really like hardcore stuff. Like you're really gonna go like as a kid through the border and like lie to the immigration officer, and yeah. So we get to the line and we're up next, and I'm honestly like hella nervous. I started to like shake, and when you have that feeling of you being nervous and in your stomach. Yeah, it was pretty intense. So the officer starts asking like the guy what his name was, and then his kid, and then his daughter, and then another kid, and then when he gets to me, he's like, oh, what's your name? And it was crazy because I like panicked. I kind of like froze, and I honestly feel like I said the wrong name. I do not remember what the name was, but I honestly think that I said the wrong name because he looked at me like, So I don't know. Maybe the guy was in it already, you know what I mean? But I honestly thought they were gonna get caught because I completely forgot everything that he had told me to remember, and I feel like at the moment, like, you forget everything, you know what I mean? Like the world stops and you get scared and you don't know what to do. But fortunately, the guy goes like, all right, go right ahead. He let us go through, and after that, the fool drove me to somebody in a van. So he dropped me up with somebody else, and from what I remember, he drove me for like a couple hours. I drove with him for a couple hours, and I still don't know about my family, my niece, my brother. I don't know anything, I didn't have any contact with them for a month, more than a month. We're gonna cross them through somewhere else, and they were gonna cross through the river. So I mean, honestly, I'm fortunate enough to not have crossed through the river, since it was hella dangerous, and my brothers were just like, well, we rather pay like more money for him to come through the actual border, like more safe. I guess I was too young and I wasn't gonna last going through the fields and the river, and after that, he drove me, like I said, a couple hours to this house where there was like another family, and the house was like covered with newspapers. Like all the windows, they were covered with newspapers, so you couldn't see from the inside out or the outside in. Like it was completely sealed, so nobody could see. I was there for like a couple of nights, I remember, and there was a kid that I played with. I'm guessing it was their son. He was like, I remember like that was the first time I ever seen like a PS3, and I was so amused by it, So that's all I did when I was there. And then after that, they drove me, I remember, for another couple hours, and I'm guessing they drove me to LA, and they dropped me off at a gas station with this other family. I don't know. By this point, I'm just like, man, I'm just gonna go home. I'm trying to see what the heck is gonna pick me up. I want to see my family. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't know how to feel, you know. I was just like, I just want to be with my family. I remember he drove me to a house, and they dropped me off there. And at the time I didn't know, but I guess they were like my brother's friends that lived in LA, and then I stayed there for like another night, and then the next day I finally got to see my brother. It was crazy. Like, I started like crying, and when you're a kid, you get happy to actually see like your family members. So it was really hard, man. Like, I know I don't get like sentimental and I'm out here crying and stuff like that, but that's just because it's not me, you know. But it was like a really like hard time of my life. Fast forward like a week, my mom finally crosses over, and we all eventually meet at my brother's place, and I was so happy to see my mom. You guys don't even understand. Like, it was hard, yo. Like, I know I keep saying it was hard, but you guys don't know how hard it is until you go through that stuff. But yeah, I finally got to be with my mom. Like, she was telling me her story and how they had to cross the river, and like they almost had an accident. You know, my mom lost all her shoes in the river, and it was crazy, yo. Cause like they couldn't have made it. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys. So fast forward, I ended up going to school, and it took me like a couple years to learn how to speak English, and you know, it was really hard, like having to make new friends and not being able to communicate with them, and you know, always being like the kid that eats by himself in the cafeteria and like has to play by itself. You know, it was hard. You know, like adapting to a whole new world that I was not used to. I wasn't like I was just shocked by the culture here. You know, it's completely different. Like, you're not used to it, and you know. But I try to make the best of it. I remember one time where my 5th grade or 6th grade teacher would send me back to like the 1st graders to learn how to speak and write and learn the basics of English, you know. And then it was crazy because I really like had to learn a whole new language and adapt to a whole new like world that I never seen before. And I remember my teacher would like try to like tease me a little bit, but she did it like in a good way, you know. She just wanted me to learn. And I remember like we got back from recess back in elementary, and I was holding a ball, and then she was like, "Oh, what is that called?" You know, she was just telling me, and I'm just there like, everybody looking at me, like the whole class looking at me, and I'm just there like, you know, I don't know. But to this day, I still remember that time that she was asking me what that thing was, and it was a ball, you know. But yeah, guys, I'm just thankful to be where I am, and grateful to have done the thing that I've done, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to make my own brand, you know, called Underrated. It's not out yet, but hopefully soon it'll come out. I'm not sure exactly what day, but yeah, man, it means a lot to me. It's not just a brand. It represents hard work, dedication, being underrated, being like under the shadows of people, like people not believing in you, you know, like. So it means a lot to me. It's not just a brand that I wanted to create because I thought the name was cool. So if you ever get the chance to rock my brand and show support and buy one of my shirts or sweaters, please remember that I have a lot of pride to wear this. You know what I mean? So I want you to have pride for the brand and appreciate what it stands for. And you know, best thing I ever did was believe in myself no matter what, and I never gave up. So even with this YouTube stuff, like I never thought I would be making this video, but I just want to be more open to you guys, and hopefully you guys can take something from this. And honestly, never give up in your dreams. Do whatever you want to do in life. So don't ever let anybody tell you when you can and can't do something. Like, it's all up to you. Don't give up in your dreams, you know? Like, keep pushing, keep working hard. Enjoy the struggle, because struggles only last so long. And, you know, I never imagined to be doing this, you know? So hopefully one day I have the privilege to be able to inspire people. And in all seriousness, like, I'm really thankful to be where I'm at in my life, because even though I'm not nowhere near where I want to be, I'm beyond thankful to have what I have and do the things that I do. And, you know, it's all up from here. Don't ever let your circumstances stop you from doing anything you want to do in life. It all comes down to how hard you're willing to work and what you're willing to do to get to the place that you want to get in life. And I hope I'm able to inspire somebody who's in the same situation as me. Just know that you can become whatever you want, as long as you're willing to put in the work. The sky's the limit, so never settle for nothing less than what you deserve. So I hope you guys can stick around and see what I'm up to, and hopefully you guys keep enjoying my videos. I just want to say thank you to you guys for showing love and support. It really means a lot to me. But yeah, see you guys in the next one.